So I'm gonna make this a three-part series. Three-part series about my three stages in life about money. And the first stage is, well, let me take a step back. The reason I'm doing this is because this is like something I wish I had known before beginning this process. So it's a three-part series. The first part of the series is how I made my first 10,000. Then the second part of the series is how I made my first 100,000. And the last part of the series is going to be how I made my first 250,000 slash quarter million. So this is one of those whiskey talks, or you don't even need whiskey, you don't need alcohol, but it's like one of those whiskey talks that I wish I would have had when I went through this process. So we're gonna start with step one, and we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's start with 2012. I graduated from college in 2012 in civil engineering. Had a friend, he graduated during the same time. Really good friend. We both were struggling, fresh after the '08 recession. It was '08, but we get to 2012. This is like the remnants of that '08 recession. We were out of luck, broke college students. You had starving artists, and then you got broke college students. It's all the same. But one day he presented to me. He wanted to place a bet as like motivation, right? And motivation was a $10,000 bet, right? And a $10,000 bet wasn't that you win it, but he suggested that the loser would pay the down payment of a vehicle to the winner. Now, I'm not big on financing, right? Financing vehicles and all that stuff like that, right? So I said, well, the winner gets $1,500 from the loser. So this is where this bet started, and that's what the prize was. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So I was like, cool, I'll do that. I've been good on saving. My first big saving was I was in high school. I saved up $3,500. Do the math based on 2004 to 2006. What $3,500 was today. If you compare it today, y'all do the math. I'll probably put like the math of that at the bottom of the screen. So that was like my first situation with saving money, but this is like as an adult, right? So we had this bet going. The funny part was when he presented this bet, he was already employed. He was already employed. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks. Got ribs. Look at that. Falling off the bone. I can't even hold it up. Where was I? So, he already had a job lined up. He started working, and I was still unemployed. Eventually, I did, so it wasn't too much of a gap, but I eventually got a job that wasn't even in my field. But I know I needed work, so I got a job paying like 15 something an hour, but it was a job. So let's move forward. I eventually left my hometown and moved to Houston, Texas, where there was a lot of opportunity. We had a lot of people moving there. This is before the boom that they have right now. This is before the boom, all of that stuff like that. So I'm in Houston. I got a job doing concrete inspection. They paid me, guess what? $15.50 an hour. So you're talking $15.50 an hour out of college. And you know what like civil engineers should have been making during that time, but I was being honest with myself. Like I had to have a job. So here we go. Here's the start of me saving up, $10,000. First thing I did was I cut as many bills as possible. I cut so many bills. I cut my cell phone bill basically in half to like $45 a month when it was originally like 120 something. I cut cable. I cut all my bills in the credit cards. I didn't go on vacations. I didn't travel. I didn't do any leisurely activities. I pretty much just cut everything to a minimum. The biggest thing I did, I promised myself, I said, any expense, any thing that I buy, I better be able to match it towards the $10,000. So anything I spend money on, I better have been able to mirror it. If I couldn't mirror that cost, I just didn't do it, and that was a huge motivation. So we had that, and we also what else did we do? I looked at all of my bills, right? Thought about how much all my bills would be, rent, gas, how much I got paid. I looked at all of that, and I came up with an amount that allowed me to know how much I could save with each paycheck. I worked overtime. I did all of this stuff just to get to the 10,000. Now, also what I realized was if I get this 10,000, I could pay off a huge portion of my student loan and use the winning money from my friend losing. I didn't know I was gonna win at the time, but that was the motivation. So months go by, I continue this process, and then just like that, boom, $10,000. And so what you also need to realize is if you can do something, you can do it again. I believe Grant Cardone, he has that 10 times slogan. I was doing that before he even mentioned it, but let him keep his credit. I'm not here to fight over 10 times, but I realized that if I do something once, I can do it again, and anything can be done 10 times, and now you're scaling. So I simply did whatever amount of money that I brought in. I just kept doing it, reached the first 1,000, got to the next 1,000, and just did it 10 times, and it eventually happened. Now, funny enough, it happened faster than I thought. It happened so fast that I actually, once I got to about 8,000, I sent them a message and I was like, bruh, I'm slowly approaching this 10,000. Are you sure you want to continue this bet? Because I started to feel guilty, like a guilty situation. And he said, nah, I'm still with it. I'm gonna continue this bet. So we continued it, and as soon as I hit that 10, I was like, cool. I sent him a screenshot of the money, like a screenshot of the bank account. I was in. I had reached my first 10,000, and I basically got a bonus for hitting that 10,000. So that's a simple story to show like the resilience that I had and the focus that I had to get to the 10,000. Now, that's just the start. We're gonna get to how I got my first 100,000, which is a even crazier story. But this isn't a crazy story. It's just how I did it. And if y'all have questions about other things that I had mentally to help me keep pushing forward, just send y'all comments, like and subscribe if you want to hear about the $100,000 story, we're starting to lead up to where I am today. So y'all like and subscribe. Tell me what y'all think about this style of video, and I see y'all in the next one.